Hey guys, welcome to the next Smoke and Flame quick tip. Now this one's going to be about lens distortion part 2 using another method, which is the Syntheyes to smoke method using a Matchbox filter written by a really great guy called Julik Tarkanov. So let's dive right in and we'll see how we approach this. So I'm just going to tab into Syntheyes and I've got the same shot loaded up and I'm just going to go to auto and let it chug through, and that's going to be fine. And the first thing I'm going to do is go track, clean up trackers. Make sure bad frames is turned on and just press fix. And then it's going to solve it again. See our errors come down. Now for this, because it's to do with lens distortion, I'm just going to click on the lens tab and now calculate the distortion. And then go over to our solver and just press go. And press OK. Now that's compensated for our camera distortion, which is exactly what we want. Now if I click on our summary panel and then go over to the lens workflow, what I want to do is click on redistort and press OK. And you see, if I go to from quad to camera, it's compensated for the slight pin cushioning that's happening on this lens. Now, the first thing I want to do is go to File and export an Action DVE setup. And I'm just going to put this in my lens directory. And I'm just going to call this 2 and press enter. And defaults are fine. Now, the next thing I want to do is go to shot and then image preparation. And I really want to pay close attention to the distortion value here, because that's what we're going to pipe into the smoke setup. So I'm just going to tab into smoke now and select the clip and go effects, create connect effects, and then just go into Alt 1 and just pull these guys out. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just press M and grab in a matchbox and Shift Alt, and then grab in the SY lens plugin written by Julik and select it and press load. Now the first thing I want to do is double click on it. And you see there's a bunch of options, but first of all, I'm just going to change my input res to 1024 by 576. And that's pretty important that it matches your source res. Where we type in the Syntheyes value is here, which is the most important one. There's also a cool little option for chromatic aberration. So the first thing I'm going to do is just tab back into Syntheyes and try and remember this number. So I'm going to go negative 0.00928. So I'm going to double click on that, negative 0.00928, and press that. And if we select that and press F4, you can see it's doing the opposite. So if we go apply, that's doing more of what we want, but we need to compensate this for the actual action that we're going to bring in just a sec. So if I go to effects nodes and then press control escape, and then just press A and grab in the action and just click load. I'm going to grab in 2, which is what we just saved, and I'm going to double click on that and go to node preferences and then rendering and check out my res, which is 1072 by 602. So I'm going to click in here and go canvas resolution to custom and then go 1072, and then go in here and go to 602. And I'm just going to select that and go to node preferences, rendering 1072, 602. And the first thing I want to do is Shift Alt that in. And if I go F1, F4 on here, you can see we're getting the same pin cushioning that we saw in Syntheyes. So the next step, I'm just going to Control Escape. And just really quickly for the sake of this, just chuck in some text so we can kind of see how the workflow might be. I'm going to press F4. And the text isn't showing up. It could be my scale because obviously I haven't set it. So I'm just going to drag it out from here. And you see that's working now. So if we scrub through, you can see it's completely off. But I'm just going to select that guy, press escape, and just Control Escape back, and just grab this guy and Alt drag him, zoom in, and Alt Shift to make him a child, and press F4, and then scale him right down and pull him down the Y. And you see it's traveling along. It's not meant to be an amazing track or comp. This is purely to show the workflow for this. So next step now is if we go Control Escape and turn that guy off, is we're going to duplicate this. So Command D, grab him over here and then Shift Alt, double click and then press F4. And I'm just going to click on Apply. So this is going to reverse the distortion that just happened. Now, in order for this to work, we need to now reverse these values. So we need to change input to the canvas. So first thing, I'm going to go 1072 and then match it to the guy's height, which is 602. And the next thing I'm going to do is do the opposite for here. So I know it's 1024, and then in my HUD I know it's 576. And the quick way to test this, besides grabbing and doing a frame buffer, is actually a good method, and that's using the difference mat. So I'm just going to press D, pull this out, and Shift Alt to the source, and then to the Matchbox output. If we press F4 and scrub through, you see we're getting a pretty good result. Again, there's going to be a couple little discrepancies, and that's to do with filtering. It's going through the action, which has its own filtering, and again, this is just a good quick test to make sure everything's working and it looks like it's doing what it should. So that's it for this quick tip, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. Plenty more coming.